say that in a couple of thoughts. In working out music, never to be afraid of tempo. I see any number of times, and I work with groups, not only chamber groups, but larger groups, where the conductor or the people will say, well, we can't play it that fast. And this happened with the premiere of this quintet in 1998, I think it was. The Missouri Quintet had commissioned the piece, and these are the faculty members at the University of Missouri at Columbia, got into rehearsal, and they said, well, we can't play it that fast. And I said, well, show me what you're going to do. And so they started playing for me, and I said, stop. And I said, well, pick a higher number. Wasn't trying to be sarcastic, just that's what came out of my mouth. And pick a higher number. And so we found what 184 is, and then we started there. And the reality is that once you allow yourself to do that and to think, well, that's possible, then it happens. If you don't allow yourself to think that it's possible, it doesn't happen, right? So the blockage is right there. It's not in the fingers of the technique, it's the ability to conceive it. So I want to suggest also that you take the music text that's in front of you and you take it as literally as possible, that your dynamic range, you allow yourself full range from the softest pianissimo to the fullest fortissimo. Everybody has a protection zone in themselves, which doesn't allow beyond a certain level of loud or a certain level of soft. And that protection zone is there so that you won't feel exposed. There's a real sense of, oh my God, I am going to be exposed. I am going to do something which is, which may sound awful, and the release that I can give as the composer, I can sit here and I can give that permission. I can say to them, go further, and if they trust me, which they do, we develop a really nice sense of working together and a nice sense of trust. It's okay. And in that trusted place, they can go forward and they can make the effort to allow that thing to happen. If you have been observing wind ensemble rehearsals by any chance, or have been in those wind ensemble rehearsals with a saxophone concerto, and we can see the transformation that's taking place in a couple of days' time, where we have achieved, where we were playing normally, it says piano or pianissimo in the score, and the sound coming out of the group is nice, but it's a mezzo piano, or a mezzo forte. And no, all right, the true pianissimo, yes. When that happens, it goes, okay. It is. It opens up an entirely different level of feel and of energy that can come through the musical space. So the imagination process that you have as players is allowing the full energy, whatever that dynamic and whatever the tone color might be, allowing the full energy to come through you at that point. And that means allowing as opposed to making it happen. There's a lot of thought process that goes into music making, but once you have a lot of that settled, once you have your technique settled and a lot of your thinking process settled, there is the point where you will allow it. We had a nice moment in rehearsal today with Paul Nolan, who was playing the solo part. And we have, in the fifth movement of this concerto, a cadenza-type passage, which is simple eighth notes. And they're equal eighth notes, and it goes on for a couple of minutes. The line moves, and it goes up, and it goes down, and so on. He's never played it the same way twice. And he asked me today, well, how do you want it? I said, let it play you. We have a certain direction about what is given on the page and the suggestion about how to play it, but it will play him. It will tell him how it wants to sound. That's a weird sense. The music tells you how it wants to sound if you listen to it, as opposed to you have an opinion about what you think it ought to happen. Yes, you work hard to develop that opinion, but once that is fully developed in you, your capacity to think and to work in a thoughtful way about your sound and your technique, then the transformation takes place, and you're playing, this is your monitor, this is the thing through which the music happens, this is where your music is coming from, and it's coming from here, and from deeper, and from other sources besides your brain. It's not about the thinking process anymore. So just a couple of comments about what we're doing. And you guys have done a terrific piece of work. Really enjoyed our stuff today and the other day. So thank you very much.